Hey you guys, I was really excited today. We got Grmyth, the top knight on my server. I think he has the highest BR of the four of us, followed by Robin and myself and LateKnight. So two really strong archers. The two top archers on my server, the top knight and myself, the top mage, all in a Spire run together. You know, it's really hard for us to get together and do really anything, just because we all run with different daily groups, and it's just really difficult to get all four of us together. And so we had done a Spire before, and we tried twice in a row and just couldn't quite get it. But since, you know, all of us have gained a bit of BR recently, you know, especially Robin and Grmyth have been really pushing for Hall of Fame to get to 400k BR, and I will be doing a video tomorrow, pushing my BR more with a bunch of resources that I have. So we've all gained a bunch of BR, and I really think that we really thought that we could beat Spire. So we have a run here. I'm babbling about other things just because these early bosses go pretty quickly. Actually, just in a flash. So here, I think we were all just pushing sylphs to beat this nasty archer. Once in a while, if I go with a weaker group, I can even find myself in a bit of trouble here, just having to go really slow. So I think everybody was willing to push sylph and make it go pretty quickly. Same with the eye. I don't like waiting to let the eye debuff us, because sometimes that buff does bug. So also, if you see me using a mouse to click skills, that's not normal for me. Usually I do use the hotkeys. I use numbers, but I think I was eating a bowl of cereal while I was recording the beginning of this. Just because I knew, well, one, I was hungry, and two, I knew that the earlier bosses would not be an enormous amount of effort. We did buy 3 Vulcan Wraths each, and one of the, what's it called? Well, it's skipping me now, but basically the skill to revive. We're really precautionary. We all potted up. I think most of us probably use War Call, and that's, I mean, usually we wouldn't do that for Spire of all the events, just because Spire, I mean, doesn't really do much for any of us. I know, I mean, Robin and I are definitely maxed out on EXP. I don't know if Grmyth and LateKnight are, but if they aren't, they're really close, so they don't need anything from this other than the title. I think we just did it just to make sure that we would win, because it was our first time trying to get the title, so nobody on our server has this yet. So we wanted to just make sure it would. In this case, we ended up getting, I think, well, 1 Vulcan Wrath from that last one, and then I think we get another one later. So, so really, in no shortage of the big boosts. So here, Robin starts talking about when should we Vulcan, and so we can get through 19 quite easily without the Vulcans, and then when we hit 20, I think we could beat 20 without using Vulcan Wrath, but we have so many that I don't think it's a problem. You know, where you start to have to be careful is at boss 21, so you start getting the elemental bosses, and boss 21 does these really nasty bleeds, so I said that I would be the person who does a Vulcan during boss 20, so that they could go ahead and sylph the beginning of 21, and I have to, you know, I'm the only mage here, so I have to do all the purification and all that stuff for 21. We got another Vulcan, so we're in very good shape. This was really fun. I mean, it was so quick, and it was you know, it's always fun to play with these guys. You know, I totally understand why you know, some people just go after, you know, making groups with the strongest people on their server. For us, you know, we all have very close friends that are different. Robin's from server 21, so she has some friends from there that she runs with, and you know, Grmyth, LateKnight, and myself were all in different, you know, rivaling guilds in server 18 before we all merged. So we all kind of, you know, built up our tunes with different people. So you know, we've all kind of stuck with our daily groups with our closer friends, but we're all in the same guild now and we all get along really well. So so it's nice to be able to play with these guys sometimes. And this guy's going down pretty quickly. I feel so spoiled, not just because these guys have big BRs, but usually, you know, my daily group doesn't have an archer in it, so to have LateKnight and Robin here, I'm just like, oh my god, I get these crit bonuses, and I get all this stuff that archers get. So, that was pretty fun. The Delphics are pretty big. Here's a lease for, you know, for definitely like a group in the 200k BR range. This is one of those hurdles. She's quite tough. I would say once you get to 20, that's when things start, you know. Well, no, actually, I think Elise in some ways is tougher than the boss after this, but she just is very quick, so you can't dawdle, even for a strong group. Can't be wasting your time. I think that was 800k, almost. Yeah, 800k crit with no Vulcan or anything from Robin. So really, just a nasty group. So here, I think I go straight into Sylph after this, and get a Vulcan out, and just want to kill this dude before I have to do too much healing, because he does an AoE and a bleed and all these things, so he's probably gonna get it in once, but I didn't want to waste too much time here. I mean, this is such a low maintenance group as far as heals go, so you know, once in a while I have to heal these guys throughout a BL or a restore if one person's getting picked on, but in general, just really low maintenance. There on the side, you probably saw me trying to close iTunes. I started to feel some lag here, and I got a little bit frustrated. But as the recording goes on, I like accumulate more lag. So I was really trying to keep this whole recording together, and I do manage. I kind of just like just eat the lag and move on. Luckily, I think, you know, we were able to just manage just fine. And this group's so OP that it's okay, but it was a little bit irritating. So just heal everybody up and get ready to Puree. So I thought I was on time for the Puree, but or just about right, but I ended up being a little bit early. Yeah, so my Puree goes off, and she doesn't do the bleed. So here she's about to bleed us. She does it on the second move. But again, this group is very strong. So you know, Grim's going to be able to take that. I mean, Grmyth has, I mean, potted up, I don't even know what his HP is here, but definitely unpotted, he has like 500k HP. So really, like, no issues with, you know, really huge bleeds. If he doesn't, you know, let it go more than like 2-3 turns, it'll be fine. So I just tell him to heal rune through it, because I'm all out of things to help him with other than BL, but that takes a long time, and I wanted to get into Sylph and do some damage. You know, one thing I would say from like a mage perspective for players who, you know, don't play all the classes and don't have a ton experience of like what it is like to be a mage, or what, you know, what's helpful. And you know, my team will joke that I don't heal, and it is a mage's job to heal. But all your players on your team need to DPS, so it's really important that if you are tanking or you're doing other things, that you really try and help maintain your HP or your health on your own if you can. So, you know, runes are really important, that type of stuff. You know, don't just sit there like a lame duck expecting your mage to heal for you. So if you can stay healthy, do it yourself. Nothing to puree at this point. I mean, after you're done with that fire boss, I think it's mostly just tank and spank. You know, this water boss I would say is easier than the fire boss before, just because I mean, she does do a lot of damage, but you can just use basic heals. You don't have to do like this excessive timing for the purification or whatever. And it's also water. And so, you know, most people go in. You see us, we have four Hercules, so it's all Electro, so you deal plenty of damage. I'm able to, I think, push my Delphic until the next boss, which is always nice. I always like being able to do, maybe like finish off one boss with part of my Vulcan turn and my 3 Vulcan turns, and then push the next one into, push the last one into the next boss, if I can help it. You see, all of us pretty much just do 3 turns with ourselves. I do remind them at some point, you know, just to keep it short and to only do 3 skills. Yeah. There it is. And that's a key strategy for things like Spire and Dragon Invasion, is to actually just keep it very, very brief in your Sylph mode, so that you can get back into Sylph mode quickly. You know, without a Vulcan Wrath, it's not like it's going to make a huge difference regardless. So you really just want to get in and then do support skills or damage with your class-based skills, and then get back into Sylph mode with a Vulcan Wrath again. Still doing really well with numbers on the second to last boss, and we have, you know, I just used my, I guess it would be 4th Vulcan. So here we do a little less damage, still doing just fine, but because she's an Electro boss, she does have a bit more resistance than that water one. Almost done. Managed the lag wasn't as bad here, but there was just that one period where somehow it was quite bad. But by the end, I'm doing okay. Here's Pan. The 2 times that we tried this before, we were very close. Maybe the first time, I think we fumbled a little, and, you know, we had like a bar left. And then the second time that we did it, we were just, you know, just like a finger width at most to go on this boss. But we were out of the will to try again that day, and out of war call and things. So it's been a while since we've been able to get everybody together and try again. But here, I mean, even with the Electro pets, it goes pretty smooth. He just does a ton of damage. I think I actually changed my resistances. I didn't really mind. I put some wind resistance on, and I was, you know, concerned that I was gonna have to have wind resistance for a God's Descent boss anyway. So that was not too big of a deal. But so that's probably why I don't take, you know, as much damage as I normally would against this guy. But yeah, it definitely does a scary amount of damage, and it's just very tanky. Ton of HP on these later bosses. So we're kind of on a rotation of, you know, the other 3 being in Sylph mode, Robin's using class skills, but she could Sylph right away. And then myself not on time with them, and that was intentional. But yeah, I mean, that was surprisingly smooth, right? It went pretty quickly, so I enjoyed myself quite a bit being able to run this, and it was, you know, it's always exciting getting a new title, especially for something like beating all of Spire. So there we go, Robin with a big Delphic to finish it off. That's always nice. Well, that's it. So big thanks to Robin, LateKnight, and Grmyth for running with me, and this is very exciting. So have a very good day, and take care, you guys.